Hi guys, today I'm going to showcase my second strategy, which I use most often. I have two strategies, my number one and number two. The one I showcased last time was my number two strategy. Both these strategies have slight variations to them. I will showcase them all, but for today I'll be showing my number one strategy and both variations to this one. I'm planning to do this in two separate videos, so keep an eye out for when I release a video. First, I will show all the indicators I use, then I'll show all the settings for the indicators. After that, I'll show you how my strategy works, and that'll be it. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like. I will in the future post live trades so you can see how I use these indicators in more detail. But overall, let's get started with the video. So first, the first indicator I use is this indicator, Borgum superscript. Very powerful indicators. It shows when reversals are happening. It's an amazing indicator. Next one up is Borgum TSI, which is this sort of oscillator down here. It sort of adds confirmation to this Borgum superscript that we have here. Next up, we have the relative volatility oscillator by this guy, Trader Christ. It adds another layer of filtering to my to both the Borgum superscript and Borgum TSI, and it sort of showcases when pullbacks are happening more clearly, when there is enough volume, for instance. So it's very, very good. Next up, we have our SSL hybrid by this guy. I showcased it in my last video also, but this is like one of my favorite indicators. Next up, we have this version of the SSL hybrid. It showcases a little bit more, and it also has a panel for when price is going up or down. But this is just an addition if you want to use this one instead of this one. But I do prefer this one because it's smoother in a way. And for the last, we have this private indicator that I use. I mainly use this for the multi-time frame strong panel and the X marks that you see here. It like when to take profit and when not to, and the sort of trend following line here. But most of the time I only use the panel because it's super helpful. Next up, I'm gonna show you guys the settings that I have for these indicators. Let's start with the Borgum superscript. So these are the settings for the Borgum superscript. We are using the BJ reversal strategy. There's multiple, but this is the one I'm using. There's also another one which is also really useful, the MA, which shows a little bit more less, but I do use only the BJ reversal. All right. Currently I have this show HEMA on, but you can toggle it off. I only have it there because it shows the continuation a little bit better, but you can toggle it off and on. And then these are the settings. Mostly there are basic settings, but I have these settings on and these alerts on. I'm gonna show you later how to how to put on alerts. All right, and this is the style. Nothing much here. Next up, we have the premium signals oscillator. You don't need this one. Premium signal overlays, you don't need it, but if you want this panel, um, you can get it if you want. I can put it in the description. But here are the inputs for that one. I do not use the signals because the signals comes from my reversals. But here's the yeah. I mainly use the panel. Next up is the SSO hybrid, my favorite indicator. These are the settings I have for my SSL. And all of them are standard default settings. The only difference is I changed the baseline TTMA and the base length to 100. And for the style section, you can enable the bar color, but I disabled it. Alright, that's for the SSL. Now we go to the BJTSI. These are my settings. I only changed the colors for them to match mostly. And the last one, the which is this one, relative volatility oscillator. These are the inputs. I chose 55. Normally on the default it comes with 89, but you get more earlier signals. I think 55 is pretty balanced, and then I chose the color for it to match my color scheme a bit better. And the style here, and that's about it. So now we go ahead and explain how my strategy works. Let's reset it here. So first and foremost, what we're looking for is that we have to get a reversal on a higher time frame. For instance, 1 hour, the 1 hour or the 30 minutes at most. But we have to get a signal. I'm gonna show you how you set the signal. Yeah, let me show you the signal first. So basically, you add signal on the BJ superscript. You click on BJ reversal, and you set it to once per block close. You set your time duration, and then you just name it reversal, and then you click create. And then after you do that, you click on it again, and then you go to the T3 crossing T3, and then you name it T3 trend, and then you do it the exact same thing like before, and then you click create. And so every time there is a reversal or a potential new trend forming, we get a signal. And when we get that signal, the first thing we do, for example, we have this area. We can see that the bar closed on this area right here. So we mark that area here on the 30 minutes, and then we go to the lower time frame, either the 6 or 5 minute. I prefer the 6 minute. And then we go to the exact same place, and what we're looking for is that this area has to be red. This TS high has to be moving downwards, for us to enter, and that's basically it. Currently, we can see that we've crossed over, but our line is moving up, as you can see here, and we can see that this area is decreasing, meaning that we are in a pullback. So what we do is we go back to the 30-minute, we wait a little bit longer, and wait a little bit longer. For example, this would have taken 3 hours, so we wait for maybe 2 hours to see that there's more, it has developed a little bit more. So then we mark, for example, this area, then we go back to that same place, we go back to that same place, we go back to that same place. If nothing has happened, we just wait for it to turn red, which could be either this area here, or we could wait a little bit longer and get this area here. But I would have waited for this area here. This would have been enough. So I go back to the 30-minute. And what I would do is I would check for the low here. I'd mark that area, first area here. Then second area would be around here. And the third one would be around here. And zoom out a little bit more. And the second area we have to take note of would be around this area, like support zone, and this area. So now what we do is, once we've gotten that close, and we can see that price is moving downwards on the lower time frame. Let's go back again. And we have, as you can see, all those areas are very accurate, like all those resistance zones. This area, this area, this area. We marked it on the higher time frame, which means that they might have more significant importance. And so we've marked that area. So what we do is we take our short position right here. I usually put this on 20 pips or 100 pips if you want to go a little bit more riskier. 100 pips, but usually I put it on between 100 and 200, so 150 pips. So 15 pip stop loss, and then we just target the first area, or we target this area right here first, and if we see that price breaks that area, we just continue to trail, unless you want a hard stop loss. That's on you on how you do it. And then we trail the price all the way. We trail, and we can go back to the 30-minute, or if you want to do like I do sometimes, you can just wait for there to be a crossover on the 30-minute, meaning that you can catch this whole move here, which would have been a 1 to 12. But obviously there's a lot of patience and a lot of psychology behind it. It would have taken a day for this trade to play out, but you can just wait for there to be a reversal, which you can see here. And once that reversal signal comes, you just mark that area again, go back to the 6-minute or whatever low time frame you have, and then if you see that our 6-minute is about to cross over, we exit. Cross over to like the SSL, we exit. So that's literally the whole entire strategy. And obviously you can use this panel to know what section, the trend pressure and stuff like that, but you don't really need it if you don't want to. And if you are and I can show you that it works almost 100% of the time. Let's remove this. Let's say, let's just pick a random reversal area. And for example, if we pick this reversal area and we go to the 6 minute, hopefully this one will, or maybe it's too much. Let's pick this one. Let's pick this reversal area so we don't have to scroll so long. So the crossover happened around here. So we go to the 6 minutes. Here we can see the price did cross over on the 6 minute. And so when that happens, we just wait for it to be above the SSL. We wait for it to be fully blue, and we wait for a crossover blue area to happen, and also for all of these guys to be green. But you'll see it when it comes. So we wait for it to cross over here, which is this yellow line. It's blue. There's a crossover on the TSI. It's above the SSL. So we take our long position. We set this thing to 200 or 100. Usually depending on what I'm willing to risk, I usually set it at 200 though. So a 20 pip stop. That way we have more breathing room. But you can go like 150, 15 pip. Oops, 15 pips. And then what we can do is we go to the higher time frame. You can set this one would have been a 1 to 3 on the lower time frame, which is freaking amazing. 2 hour trade, which is it's a scalp, but basically you can wait for the crossover to happen on the higher time frame. So when we have a crossover here again, it signals that we should probably exit our trade. Let's see where the crossover happened. It happened on this candle, so it's going to be the next candle here. So we go back to the 6 minute to see where we would have exited if we waited for the crossover on the 30 minute. Usually when I scalp, I just wait for the crossover in the 30 minute, but when I'm holding a little bit longer, I usually just place hard stops or I trail. But you can always wait. Let's see where that stop would have been. Okay, would have been here, so right here. Oof, that's a hard stop there. That's a little bit of a lower. Oh, wow, that was almost a 1-to-1 here if we waited for the crossover on the 30 minute compared to if you put a hard stop. But another way you can do it for the exits is you wait for the premium hybrid to print an X, or you just wait for the crossover to happen on this area, on the lower time frame area, because the crossover happened here on the 30 minute versus the 6 minute. And as you can see here, we go back to the 30 minute again. Obviously no strategy is 100%. So here we have I think the crossover happened here. And so it's the same thing here. We have a reversal signal on this one. So let me remove that. We have a reversal signal on this one. No, that was only 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Wow. We have a reversal signal on this one. And so we go to the 6-minute to make sure that there's a crossover to the SSL. If there is a crossover to the SSL and we have a red volatility going downward and the TSI is going downward, everything is red, sorta, we can enter. Let me go back to that area. Just picking random spots to show that it works everywhere. So this was the reversal signal on the 30-minute. And so what we do is just we wait for the crossover to happen on the SSL. And when that happens, we have the crossover on the TSI, the volatility is picking up, and we can enter this trade and wait for a crossover to happen on the 6-minute or the 30-minute if you're holding for more long term. But if you're scalping, this is almost a 100% win rate, which is, or a 90. I have to say 90 because no strategy is 100%. This says 20 pip stop, and this would have been a 1 to 5. That's crazy. A 1 to 5 right there. Like, I can show you. The only thing with this strategy is you have to be patient for that 30-minute. But when that 30-minute happens, the probability of it going that direction is very, very freaking huge. Also, it adds to it. Like, for example, if the 30-minute crosses over the SSL, like this, like clearly crosses over the SSL, we know that there's going to be a lot of volume. For instance, here it didn't cross over to the SSL, it was underneath the SSL, but it was going downward. And so, as you can see, on the 30-minute, we were able to catch this huge stuff on the 6-minute, which is crazy. And if we had kept holding until the crossover on the 30-minute, which happened right here, we would have been able to catch, move that back, almost a 1 to 6. A 1 to 6, which is huge. What happened here? A 1 to 7, sorry. A 1 to 7, which is huge, guys. So the only thing you have to wait for is that 30-minute crossover. 30-minute crossover or a reversal. If a reversal happens, you do the same thing again. You mark that area. You go to the 6-minute to see if that crosses over the 6-minute SSL and that there is blue and blue underneath it. And if that's the case, you enter. For instance, we can, if we enter, for example, on the 6-minute, it looked like this. We wait for it to turn blue like this, right? And if it looks like this on the 6-minute, when we mark that area out, we wait for it to have a clear, like, clear close. Like, it has to go up, because sometimes this SSL can act as a resistance zone. Let me see if I can find an example. Can I find an example somewhere? Maybe this area. Let me find an example somewhere. Okay, let me find. Okay, let's see. We have a crossover there. The crossover happened around this area, so we just mark it. Go back to the 6 minute. All right. Oh, here's a good example. All right, so the crossover would have happened right here. Let's go back to 30 minute just to make sure. Yeah. 30 minute crossover happened. 1, 2, 3. So right here between these two. We go to the 6 minute or 5 minute, doesn't matter. And we can see here that it's right below this area. And so we have to wait for it to cross this area. And when it crosses that area, here, and you see that the 6 minutes starting to go a little bit lower, like this. You see the crossover happening the moment we cross over to this area. Right, you can see that it goes down a little bit, starts picking up. There's not enough here, and it starts going down a little bit. We do not enter. We wait for like a clear crossover, something like this. Like it's like it increases large, and it's not like tightly pressed together like this. We wait for it to cross over like this, and when that happens, we know we can enter our trade. In this situation, it would be a long 0 to stop and target maybe this area here, this crossover here on the 6 minute, or we could hold a bit longer, go to the 30 minute and try to target the crossovers here. So which would have been around the same area, sort of, a bit longer. So around this area. But yeah, that's the whole strategy, guys. I will show the other variation to this strategy, but this is one of my favorite strategy. Really powerful stuff. Yeah, and you can also trade trend continuation if you see that it's continuing. And when you see stuff like this, like on these oscillator here, it just means that it's a pullback that's happening. So I only use indicators that complement each other. So for instance, we have this, have the crossover here. Like we have the crossover here happens a little bit earlier, but then when the crossover happens on this one, we go to the lower time frame, we check if it is red, and if the TSI is going down, and if price action is going down, then we can enter and basically ride this 30-minute pullback, which is a day trade because it takes 20 hours to finish. Or you can just scalp it for like 2 hours with bigger lot size and be done for the day. But I hope this this strategy of mine helps you guys out there, and hopefully we can all make profits. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this strategy helps. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and see you guys in the next video I make.